Hey guys, welcome back to Geared Forward. My name's Paul. Today we're taking a look at an excellent EDC option, the Victorinox Compact, a two-layer Swiss Army knife that packs a surprising amount of punch into a very compact form factor. So let's start off with a little bit of a size comparison before we do a tool rundown. This little thing is just a little glowy keychain from Polymath Products. It's just something I like, and it's something that I have in some of the Swiss Army knives that I use regularly. So this is a 91mm Swiss Army knife. It's 91mm. Here we have a 50mm Classic and an 84mm Cadet. And we're going to have that against, a mainstay fan of the channel, the Open Mini. And next we're just going to have a size comparison. This is a Huntsman. This is obviously a much larger Swiss Army knife. We're talking 4 layers versus 2, but here is a thickness comparison. And then, so let's go through our tools. So we obviously have the normal main pen blade, and that shares a layer with the excellent combo tool, which does lock 90 degrees for torquing purposes and using the wire stripper. So here is the wire stripper, as we just mentioned, and then this is a combination bottle opener, can opener. Now, I've never personally tried the can opener function of this tool. I've seen on forum posts on multitool.org that it works quite well. I can say though that I do like how it functions as a bottle opener. You can use this as a flathead and the tip as a Phillips. It works fine. Not the greatest screwdrivers, but I am a big fan of this tool. I think it works really well. And a bonus tip, if you want to add a little bit more functionality to this, then you can just take this little corner here, take a file to it, say from a Leatherman or another Swiss Army knife, even if you don't have a dedicated file set. Just file it down a little bit, make a little bit of a point, and you can turn this into a box opener as well. Moving on, the only other layer we have here is going to be for the excellent full-size scissors. Now, Victorinox scissors are just a joy to use. They are excellent scissors. They're manual, so you do have the option of spreading those jaws quite wide for whatever your purposes are. The springs are user replaceable. It can be a little tricky to punch them out to replace, but they are user replaceable, and you can get an entire set of replacement parts that include it or buy them individually. The full-size 91mm, this feels very comfortable to use the scissors. The Swiss Army knife is filling the hand, and just absolutely fantastic scissors. Coming around to the back, and we have one of the things that makes the Compact unique. So here we have the parcel hook, which is not a unique feature. We do have that on the Huntsman as well. But what is unique is that the Compact's version has a file surface in here as well, which it's the same kind of file surface that you get on the Classic and that you used to get on the older style Cadets. And it works just fine. I know it's not the most aggressive of files, but it does just fine for a fingernail, and you don't need a particularly wide surface. This is, that is more than enough to just do your nails. And when combined with the scissors, it does, solve this as a bit of a hygiene grooming tool if needed as well. Next, we have the corkscrew, which you can see has a tool in it. And moving on to the next part. So, by standard, Celador Swiss Army knives just have 2 scale tools. They have the tweezers and the toothpick. So, tweezers are, of course, quite nice. Personally, I do prefer a slanted tweezer. Something like the Leatherman tweezer, and I do sometimes replace these with a Leatherman tweezer. But these tweezers do work just fine. I've used them plenty. And then we also have the toothpick, which I would not use for a toothpick personally, but I have used for a scraping, poking implement. if you play a lot of video games, this is great for getting that accumulated hand gunk out of the seam between your Xbox controller's two halves. And this is, at the end of the day, a non-conductive piece of plastic, so you could just use this as some raw material, whittle it down and use it for a DIY repair if need be. But you will see that we do have an extra here, and we do have some extra stuff. And it's because the Compact comes with what is known as plus scales as standard. Now, plus scales means that you're going to get the pen. So it's a nice little pressurized ballpoint pen. Because it's pressurized, it means that it'll write upside down, underwater, all that good stuff. You know, the stuff that you normally see associated with a space pen. You're going to get this nice little eyeglass screwdriver. And you're going to get a pin, which is just tucked away down here. Pin, great for pushing reset buttons, getting SIM cards out. If you've got a subdermal hematoma, you need to just heat it up, poke down there, or lance something. Or you need to just pin some things together as you're sewing. Now, I will say that the pin hole is on all Swiss Army knives that are 91mm sourdoughs. So if you don't have plus scales, you can just grab a pin that'll fit. Sometimes ones with bulbous heads do get like knocked about by the screwdriver, the corkscrew, sorry. But you can just fill that on any. The pen slot is, however, not there on most of them. Felix Imler does have a great video on how you can make your own. I tried it, didn't go well personally. I need more practice. But this is part of the great value and part of the reason that the Compact is a little bit higher cost, because you're getting these tools as well. Now, this eyeglass screwdriver is actually great. I have used this to adjust the screws in my glasses. You are also able to get a pack from Victorinox that is different colored heads with different tools on them, including a tiny crosshead Phillips, I believe a Torx, a SIM extraction tool, that kind of thing. I can't remember what the last one is. But you can get different types of like tiny screwdriver tools to fit in here instead. And if you're looking to replace this or the toothpick, then I believe Tortoise Gear is the company. They do essentially tiny ferrocerium rods, fire strikers that you can put in your Swiss Army knife, including a nice little bit of waxed tinder that kind of just like screws in here as well. I don't have that to show at the moment, but hopefully in the future. Now, I will say that the pen can be a bit challenging. If you're just going to take it out and attempt to use it like this, obviously the size of your hands is going to play a bit of a part. The smaller the hand, the less it's going to get lost. You can just pinch it and go for it. However, if you want a bit of an easier time using it, then you just need to pop up your parcel hook. Just pop that in there like so. And then you can use the entire body of the Swiss Army knife to hold instead of just that. And I wouldn't want to write any essays with this, but it is more than adequate for a quick note, signing your name, that kind of thing. Having your own pen is great because you never know when you might need to write something like that down. Particularly if you're handing off a note to somebody or leaving a note behind for somebody. And just in the age of that we live in now, just having your own pen instead of having to touching somebody else's or one that's for public use, it's just a little bit cleaner. So just a little tip to help you out there. Now, obviously, using the pen in that manner does work better if you don't have anything attached here. I typically carry a separate pen, but it's not a deal breaker for using the pen if you do have a little lanyard or anything on it. So overall, this is for a 2-layer 91mm. It runs a little bit expensive. I'm not sure exactly what they run for now. When I picked this up, it was about £27. There is a little bit of an oddity in that for some reason, compacts in particular are a little bit cheaper in the UK than they are in America. I'm not exactly sure why. However, I can say that as long as you're not being gouged on the second-hand market, this is 100% worth the money. The sheer amount of versatility and tools you're getting in this just form factor, between the combo tool, the file on the parcel hook, the plus scales, this is an excellent just amalgamation of things whilst still being light and easily carryable. I would say that after I got this, I picked this up in 2020. I bought a lot of Swiss Army knives during lockdown, don't judge me. I did just carry this as my pocket knife for a while, and that's unusual. I am a knife guy first and foremost. I do have Swiss Army knives, multi-tools, but I do like having a dedicated knife, and for quite a while this was just my knife in my pocket. It was small and wieldy, it's not as thick as some other Swiss Army knives, so it didn't feel too much in the hand to use comfortably for an extended period as a knife. But yeah, I had all these other tools, and it was a new shiny thing helped. But this is an excellent EDC option, and if you want another glowing review, I do believe that this was the EDC option of John Gadget, and then he went away from it and came back because it's just that good. And of course, being less than 3 inches, folding without a lock does mean that it is UK legal, and perhaps legal in some other more restrictive jurisdictions as well. Please make sure to always consult your local knife laws, including speaking to a lawyer or police officer if necessary. You take your legal matters into your own hands. Don't trust a YouTuber for that. So that's what I think of this tool. I think it's excellent. I would highly recommend it, and I would say everyone should pick this up, and if you collect Swiss Army knives, it should definitely find a place in your collection. But what do you think? Have you tried the Compact? Are you tempted to try it out now that you've seen it if you haven't before? Let me know in the comments section down below, and whilst you're down there, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Every little helps grow this small channel of ours and helps us move on to bigger, better, and more videos in the future. Until next time, I've been Paul, and I hope you have a wonderful day.